All right, good morning, everybody. Dynasty Meter, Search for Huru. And I have my brother, Kevin Kimani, with us today, all the way from, now you're in Nairobi, correct?
I'm in Nairobi, yeah.
In Nairobi, Kenya. We're gonna speak on a couple topics this morning. Let's get some more people in the chat room. I know it's early. Uh, and also, I want to speak on real quick. I was supposed to do a show with BF and Kuma. I think he goes by Mitchell Speaks. Mitchell Speaks. That's what he goes by as well. And the brother just didn't show up. I mean, I sent him the link. He like responded back, and he's just completely disappeared. So I hope the brother's okay. If you see this, BF, just give me a shout out. Let me know you're all right. Hopefully you didn't get kidnapped by aliens or or something. So just hit me back. Let me know everything is cool. Yeah, but I guess he's okay because he's posting on his whatchamacallit, his Facebook. So it's whatever. Oh well. But anyway, so Kevin, Kenya Airways. Let's start off with that.
All right.
Now, at one time, like I flew Kenya Airways a couple of times when I first started going to Africa in 2011 and 2012. They were a pretty strong competitor in Africa. Then they just fell off all of a sudden, it seems like.
They did.
Yeah, and then I think South African Airways and Ethiopian Airlines, they kind of were competing for the #1 spot. But just flying to Africa recently, I'm gonna go ahead and get the #1 spot, and I have a love-hate relationship with them. I'm gonna go ahead and give the #1 spot to Ethiopian Airlines.
It is the #1 airline in Africa.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and swallow my pride because I had a pretty rough experience with them back in 2013, but it was like a good and bad thing because I ended up coming to Nairobi. But they had like canceled a flight like last minute, and they completely ruined my travel plans somewhat. But in that I ended up. My shirt dirty. Oh well. I ended up coming to Nairobi, so it worked out at the end of the day. But now you're saying that it's a possibility they're going to have direct flights from New York to Nairobi via Kenya Airways.
Yeah, there will be direct flights from New York to Nairobi. Is it? It's September, October, and Kenya has had a rough time and they've completely changed the management, so it seems going up again.
What were the issues you think? Like what happened?
Well, it's basically mismanagement. Kenya is majority owned by not majority owned, but a lot of shares are, so a lot of mismanagement was happening within Kenya Airways. It seems
it's owned by my bad. It's owned by the government, right?
Yeah, it is partly owned by the government.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's the mismanagement, and now it seems they're turning it around. They've changed the whole management, and let's wait and see.
Okay.
Also, Kenya has upgraded its airports, so that's why they've been given a clearance by FAA to fly to JFK.
Whoa, I didn't know. So, okay, last time I was in Nairobi was, I think, 2014, maybe 2015. I don't remember. So
yeah,
the airport was under construction then?
Yes, it was under construction.
Okay.
I think it was opened later on that year. It's quite big. It's quite impressive.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I gotta catch that direct flight because Ethiopian Airlines, you could fly direct, man, from Newark, New Jersey to Lome, Togo. You can fly direct to Ivory Coast. Then you can fly direct to Addis Ababa. So I mean, they have a quite number of direct flights from America to Africa via Ethiopian Airways Airlines. Sorry, and Do you know how the process works as far as getting approval to fly direct to America from Africa, as far as airlines? Do you know how that works, or?
Yeah, yeah. It is. I think the FAA has its own rules, and also you have to be category. Your airport has to be a category 1 airport, which means it has to follow a lot of security regulations and meet them. And that is when you're allowed to fly to America.
See, I'm gonna tell you something. I think the categories as far as that are imposed on a lot of these African airlines as far as security, like I promise you, the airports in America, I don't think are as secure. Like for example, like when you drop off a passenger or pick up a passenger in America, you could drive directly up to the actual terminal. In Africa, they check your car before you even get to the terminal.
Yeah.
See, they don't do that here in America.
Oh, really?
Nah, nope, That yeah. So basically, you like say you're here in Atlanta and I'm dropping you off at the airport. I literally could pull straight up to the terminal and you just get out and go inside. When I was in Kenya, when I was in Togo, a lot of these, except for now, it might change. I know Senegal has a new airport. They check you like before you get to the terminal. They'll check your car.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so they don't do that here in America. No airport does.
Oh wow, I didn't know.
Yes. So yeah, so that was new. Like I didn't that just I thought that was odd. So
Yeah, in Nairobi, the airport is like the security is ridiculous. It's like serious security.
oh, I
I
know.
was in. If you're late, like if you're late and you have to pass through that security, I mean, you'll miss your flight definitely.
Yeah, because there, which is another thing, you have to actually get out of the car, go in through like a kind of like a check-in, not a check-in,
A
but
metal detector.
another security check. Then get back in the car, get dropped off at the airport, then go through a security check. You go through like 3 or 4 security checks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that I don't understand that because in Ghana you don't have to go through that much security. You just get dropped off, I believe, at the airport in Ghana.
Well, again, Kenya has history with Al Shabaab, and so the airport, I understand what they're doing, but I mean, at some point you have to complain. It's too much.
Yeah. Hey, everybody come to the chat. Thank you for getting up early in the morning. Well, it's early here in Atlanta. I don't wherever you guys are at. Some of y'all might be in Europe or Africa, so it's a little bit later. I know a lot of people were asking because during the week since I work, I only can hop on in the evenings. So I know when it's evening here, it's late in Europe and in Africa.
In Africa,
So
yeah.
I try to so I try to do these shows on a weekend early, so everybody can have an opportunity to hop on. But I know it's early for the people here in America, but hopefully you guys are you guys are wiping the sleep out of your eye and you can come on and enjoy the show. So how's the election fallout going on? Because I know something just recently happened with Odinga, I think, right? The election.
He swore himself in.
How do you swear yourself in? How does that work?
Well, these politicians, well,
How do you swear yourself in? Like, how does that happen?
I mean, even his deputies didn't show up, Anyway, so politicians, man. I mean, that is all I can say. The goodness is that it's been peaceful.
Okay, it's been peaceful. That's good.
Yeah. So nothing much to write. He's being condemned by literally everybody.
Right.
He's still sticking to his guns. Well, we just wait and see.
Well, let me ask you this: how now somebody who goes, I guess, rogue and attempts to swear himself in, like, what can the Kenyan government do to him?
They can't do anything to him. That's for sure. They can't do anything to him.
So if I wanted to, can I come to Kenya and just swear myself in?
You can. Oh, he's very smart, actually. He didn't swear himself in as the president of Kenya. He swore himself in as the people's president of Kenya.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Makes sense, I guess. I guess that.
Yeah. Because if he said he was the president of Kenya, then that would have been treason anywhere in the world. But he didn't say he's the president of Kenya. He said he's the people's president.
Okay. I guess, it's all about semantics and we're playing wordplay.
Use technicalities and wordplay. Yeah. At some point he had to please the crowd. He had to show up and say, because he kept on threatening that he would swear himself in, and he had to prove that he would swear himself in.
Yeah, I just think it's hilarious. So Kenya has moved forward. Uhuru Kenyatta is the president again. Is this his third term or second?
Second.
Okay. So he has 5 years. He has 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Are there any, I know it's early, are there any as far as the elections go? Now can he run again for office or no?
Uhuru?
Yes.
No, he can't.
Okay, good. Okay.
It's 10 years maximum. 10 years maximum if you're running for president in Kenya.
So do you think Odinga might run again next time?
He might, yeah.
He might actually win next time if Kenyatta doesn't win, unless people just don't like him.
Yeah, if Kenyatta messes up, Odinga has a very good chance.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Well, in Kenya basically you have to form allegiances with other parties.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot do it on your own.
Right.
Yeah, the election here in Kenya, like I told you last time, is a bit tribal. So you have to form allegiances.
All right, when you say tribal, like what? So you have the Kikuyu, the Kikuyu, the Lua.
Kenya, you have 44 now, 44 tribes.
Okay. Now,
so
because
you have
the Indians are considered a tribe now, correct?
Yeah. So you have to well, the Indians were considered a tribe just to get their votes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we know that game. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to form allegiances to to get your way.
Mm-hmm.
And the Kikuyu are the majority, so it is wise usually to be in the side they're in. It gives you a higher chance, especially if you form a coalition with them, with another tribe, which is a majority also, a big tribe. Your chances are higher.
Let's go. Let's see what we got going on in the chat room. Everybody, peace again. Thank you for getting up early this morning. Robert Mugabe made a quote saying, African girls would not trade 6-packs for 6 cars. So stop going to the gym and go to work. How do you feel about the great Robert Mugabe?
I don't think he said that. I think that is some parody account, but
I don't know, man. You can't put it past him. Can't put that past him.
I don't think really he said that. That would be hilarious if he did. I don't think he did. I think that is the account.
Yeah, that's funny. We love Robert, absolutely love Robert Mugabe. All right, and then how do you guys feel about Mugabe in Kenya?
Mugabe is loved, Kenya and Zimbabwe have the same history,
Mm-hmm.
The British didn't want to leave both these countries.
Right.
So up to now, you find a lot of Europeans, may I say, white Kenyans, who control huge chunks of land, arable land.
Still to this day.
Till to this day, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Zimbabwe. Kenya and Zimbabwe share the same history.
Hey, Bobby, I'm gonna answer your question as far as how do I feel about Europeans at the voodoo festivals and sitting at the feet of the elders. It's for show. I mean, voodoo can't be seen. So what you see in the public, that's just for show. I mean, some of the rituals are, I would say, real, but for the most part, it's just for the tourists, man. A lot of it, not all of it, but some of it's for the tourists. The real voodoo you can't see, can't be seen, and it's done like underground. So it's whatever, man. I mean, they come and they patronize, so you got to kind of give them a show. So it's whatever. If that makes sense, Bobby McDonald. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into this article that I sent over to you.
Yeah, I've seen that article, which is ridiculous, by the way.
So everybody, the article, basically there was an article released stating that, which didn't make sense. Basically stating that America is running some type of propaganda program to like emasculate Kenyan men, or to do gender studies on Kenyan men because of terrorism, or
yeah, they're linking high levels of testosterone to terrorism.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Kenyan men are the terrorists. It's the Al Shabaab. So won't they do that in Somalia?
Well, this is some agenda that they have, which is ridiculous.
So then, like, I know when Barack Obama came to Kenya a few years ago, he brought up the whole LGBT thing.
Yeah, he did.
So, do you think this is something that has been going on and that he started in Kenya? Because it's just weird. It's like they do all this. It's like Black Americans are the guinea pigs, the Black guinea pigs of the world, and then whatever works over here, they try everywhere else. So they've been on this agenda, and they're full out on it as far as effeminizing Black men and masculizing Black women. And so now I see they're trying to really push it. And I thought it would stop because once Donald Trump was in office, but they're spending, let me read this article, guys. The U.S. State Department, the U.S. State Department is set to launch a new study that suggests violent extremism in Kenya stems from ideals of masculinity. Like, what violent extremism? Like, what? I mean, what? I mean, you guys are nearly as violent or close to it than what you see here in America. But they'll run these studies. They want to run this study on Kenyans.
Yeah, I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, even what they're basing it on. Kenyans don't kill each other over religion. That is Al Shabaab. That is Somali. I mean, this is Somalis coming over to do that.
Right.
That would be the ideal place if it was a genuine study. But obviously, you see, there's some. Obviously, Kenya has some influence in the region, so it is just propaganda and whatever they want to do. So it is very unfortunate. I didn't even know about it till you sent me the link.
Yeah, yeah, and it's been somewhat. I mean, and then there are some people who are. I mean, people have been talking about it. Yeah, but that's crazy. I mean, it's just it's weird. Sorry about these notifications. But let me finish the article. So to that end, the State Department is spending close to $600,000 of taxpayer money exploring the subject of toxic masculinity. See, they don't explore studies of toxic masculinity in non-Black communities or in white communities, but they do this shit in Black communities. And I'm telling you, what's coming next is this shit and the feminism and all this other crap, which is grappling with the Al-Qaeda link.
It is what is going on in the world right now. It is what is going on in the world. Effeminization of men.
Right. But they're really, really focused on Black men. Like, really focused on Black men.
Let me put it this way. Black Americans really influence the world in fashion, in culture, in the way they speak. In Black America carries a huge chunk of influence in the world. So if it is seen as cool in black communities, obviously it will be accepted in most of the world.
Yeah, I got to do a video on that. Because I know they're sending Rihanna to Senegal and all this other shit. So yeah, I got to do a video on that. But oh, somebody in the chat room wants to ask you, what's up, Chima? Appreciate the super chat. Who are these Mungiki that I hear about? You know, Mungiki. Yeah. You know what that is?
It is. Yeah, it is a religious-based gang who well, sort of an African Al-Shabaab, sort of a Kenyanized Al-Shabaab, I can say. Mm-hmm. They want to form their own government.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and base it on African tradition and reject Western tradition.
Okay, you know what? And the thing, shit, I probably okay. I put it like this: I understand where they're coming from. I'll say that now. But how are they now? But this is Kenyan based. So are they Muslim or what are they?
No, they practice African religions.
Oh, so indigenous religions.
Indigenous religions, yeah.
How is their? I mean, how have they been received in Kenya?
Well, in the early 2000s, they were received well. Well, the majority are from the Kikuyu tribe. They were received well in the early 2000s, till they started being linked with politics and all sorts of things. And that's when, the government said, you guys are forming your own government, and there was a serious crackdown on them.
Okay.
A lot of people were killed. A lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So is this kind of like Mau Mau 2.0?
Yes, they call themselves Sons of Mau Mau.
Okay. So when I come to Kenya, I can't wear my Kevin Keith and DeMonte shirt. You think I'll get
no, you
singled
can.
out?
You can. There's a very huge statue of Kimani in Nairobi.
Okay. Yeah, because when I came, I wore my Keaton Kimani shirt everywhere.
No, you can. You can.
Okay.
Mungiki is an underground group now. Now they are an underground group.
Okay, but so how does Uhuru Kenyatta feel about him?
At first, he was sympathizing with them, till they threaten your throne.
Okay.
Yeah. He was condoning them, if anything. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And encouraging them around it.
So now they said that toxic masculinity in the conflict-stricken African nation, which is grappling with the Al-Qaeda-linked terrorist organization Al-Shabaab. So
conflict-stricken nation.
Yeah. I swear, man, it's just in Africans who are watching this, man. It's so important, man, that you guys just tell your own narrative. I mean, come on. Like, I give you a funny story. I was making a sales call one time, and a guy, he the owner of the company, he had just went to Rio for the Olympics, and this is probably back in like 2014, maybe 2015, something like that.
Yeah.
And so he was like, Rio's bad, but it's not Nairobi bad. And I had to stop him. I said, hold on, I've been in Nairobi 3 times. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, I'm like, dude, what are you talking about Nairobi bad? So that's why I'm so, when you guys let Europeans just come in and walk around and, the narrative they're sharing when they come back to the West is that you guys are in a shithole. And, good thing I was there to correct him and let him know that Nairobi is safer than Atlanta. Seriously. Nairobi is safer than the majority of major U.S. cities. So, yeah, man. So, so again, conflict conflict-stricken African nation. For God's sake.
Okay. Yeah, that
Yeah,
is how they describe. That is how they describe African countries mostly. Even if politicians fight in parliament and they don't take the fight outside parliament, you'll find they've written, political turmoil in Ghana, in political turmoil in Nigeria, but in reality, there is nothing wrong.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I don't know, man.
unfortunately, Dynasty, these media houses are still controlled by these guys. You can tell your story through the internet.
Yeah, true. It's just the issue is our people, especially here in America, they're so how can I put it, smart but stupid. And what I mean by that, Kevin, like when Black Americans are, I guess, stereotyped by the media, they speak out. That's not true. That's false. That's fake news. But when they stereotype Africans, they believe it. And these could be the same news outlets. You know what I mean? The same platforms. So it's just,
Yeah, I saw somebody commenting, when Trump called third world countries shitholes,
right.
there was an article on BBC, just a random comment. Somebody just wrote, name like 6 African countries which are not in war right now, and I'll give you my left leg. You should have seen the comments on that. Like, everybody believes there is no country in Africa which is peaceful, which is crazy, and it is a first world country. This is people who are supposed to be educated.
Right.
The ignorance coming out of them is overwhelming. Even people don't have answers for that. You can only insult. There is nothing intelligent you can tell this guy.
Right.
Yeah, so unfortunately, that is the Western view of Africa, and that is a position they've taken and they've stuck their guns to it, and they're not going to change it anytime soon. I mean, people have been complaining about this since time immemorial. So the thing is, it's not going to change. It's us to find alternate sources of news.
Right. To change it. It's up to us to change it.
Yeah.
So let me read some more through this article. Gender is increasingly recognized as an essential aspect to understanding and countering violent extremism throughout the world, reads the grant proposal. So it's a grant. To date, research and interventions on gender in Kenya have predominantly focused on the role of women and girls in violent extremism. What are they talking about, Kevin?
I don't have no idea, man. I have no idea. Like, literally, that article does not make sense.
However, men and boys are disproportionately recruited by and join terrorist groups and carry out terrorist operations. It continues. But see, this is the thing. Now, I swear, these Europeans, man. So they'll run gender studies on violence and extremism in Kenya, the Black nation, but they won't do the same shit when people are joining these Aryan nation gangs and the Ku Klux Klan. They don't do that same shit to them.
Yeah, because that is not the aim of the study. The aim of the study is not violent extremism. There is an agenda.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. But it's just the thing is, Kevin, what's going on, man? They're putting especially what they're doing, they're getting Black entertainers in Black Hollywood now, okay, and Black politicians to push this agenda. And the issue is, Kevin, a lot of Africans who come to America, who get their green cards, who get their citizenship, they see the America through, what's the saying, rose-colored lenses or glasses.
Yeah.
So what I have to tell them is, like, look, post Martin Luther King, Black leaders have not moved the needle for Black people. They have failed. And it's the same in Africa. I mean, post-colonialism, uh, African leadership has been somewhat ineffective.
Yeah.
But these Africans will complain about African leadership and then praise Black leadership just because of something that happened 40 years ago when Martin Luther King was shot for him. I mean, shot, took a bullet in the head for everybody. You know,
Yeah.
and it's like these Black leaders aren't doing shit. So I don't know. So I'm just afraid what's going on, Kevin, is a lot of Africans, okay? Because like I said, Black America, we are the guinea pigs of Black people worldwide. So all just the weird shit, because I mean, this gender shit has been shit has been going on in the Black community for years now.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You can notice the gradual change of masculinity to feminize, embracing of feminization. If you're
right,
keen enough, you'll see it. Yeah, you can see it.
right. So what's going on? They're putting out these black puppets, and then that's why I just like I agree with the what's this group called, the Mujungi? What are they called again?
Mungiki.
Mogiki. How and then I'm gonna do another video just warning, you know, Africans to stay away from this BS Western culture. You know what I mean? Because what they're doing, they're putting these black leaders, okay, black entertainers out front, and they're pushing and supporting this bullshit. Okay, and then like you said, since Black America is so influential around the planet, you know, people in Africa, they're seeing this shit and getting behind it. And then another thing that's going on too, Kevin, a lot of times when you're, especially women, African women, okay, come to America and get educated, they're starting to learn this bullshit and then try to bring it back to Africa as if it's gonna work. But it's completely
Yeah,
failed the black community. But you know, they're so the only I would say engagement they have with the black community is just probably the black people they go to college with, but they're not really in the black community and studying how this shit is failing. But they think
yeah,
for
yeah,
some reason it's gonna work in Africa.
yeah. I agree. I know, but you can see it even in Nairobi. You know, Nairobi is sort of very Western.
Right. Well, it
I mean,
is.
Nairobi has embraced Western culture so much. You can see it everywhere you look. Everywhere you look, you find the "I don't need a man" type. You know, you fail to understand what men have done to her, or you know, somebody who's just a woman who's against men and claiming she's feminist, but in reality, she's not doing anything to help women. She's just stating her opinion and intoxicating other people. You know, intoxicating other people.
Right.
So yeah, it is happening. It is happening.
Yeah, I just think it's crazy. Let me finish this article. So, however, men and boys are disproportionately recruited by and join terrorist groups and carry out terrorist operations. It continues, but that's not Kenya. That's Somalian men.
That's the thing. You know, even if they're Kenyans who are being recruited, you cannot. The number is not significant enough to, you know, for such a study.
Right. And then it continues to say, the proposal suggests that Kenya's patriarchal society of tough heterosexual men. Of course, you're supposed to be a tough heterosexual man. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, this just doesn't make any sense. Like, we supposed to be a soft heterosexual man?
I don't understand it. You know.
Are responsible for Islamist extremism in Kenya, adding that boys and men are disproportionately recruited by terrorist groups like Al-Shabaab. It states that the country's view of men is uniformly patriarchal and highly prescriptive, despite being diverse in its ethnic and cultural composition. Kenyan males are expected to head the household as well as provide for, protect, and maintain the family. Of course. Like what? I mean,
They're saying that as if it's something which is wrong. You know, something
right.
is wrong when men are doing that.
And the grant proposal continues, adding that young men are exploited by violent extremist groups who appeal to these characteristics and offer the opportunity to fulfill these roles. The State Department states that the research would involve fathers and community leaders to help shape existing cultural narratives on masculinity, gender, and violent extremism through male-to-male dialogue on issues of gender and encourage stronger social familial support structures. Responding to the Free Beacon article, a top Kenyan counterterrorism official shot down a proposal to state that terrorism isn't a crisis of masculinity. It's not.
It's not. It's not. Absolutely not.
That's crazy. Like, I mean, I just thought I just had to do a show on that, man, because you gotta understand, Kevin. I would say probably 7 years ago, 8 years ago, once we noticed that there was an agenda to feminize black men, people thought we were crazy. Like, what are you talking about? You're being homophobic. I'm like, just look at the TV. But now it's so fucking obvious that they can't even deny it anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially in Hollywood. Yeah, but this is crazy.
Even in the new age, hip hop, you can see
go ahead,
it.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, new age hip hop. Hey, Turkey, explain what you mean by black. Turkey. Okay, well, Turkey had a question. Dynas, ask Kevin to explain to us what caused water shortages in Kenya. Is there a water shortage in Kenya?
There was a drought last year. Yeah.
Okay, it was just a drought. You needed because you said, because I thought they have direct access to Lake Nyanza. Did I say that right?
Lake Victoria, which is
Okay,
in Nyanza.
Okay, got it. And the Blue Nile. So what causes the water shortages?
Kenya does not have access to the Blue Nile. Kenya has access to Lake Victoria in Nyanza.
Okay, but you guys share that. Isn't Lake Victoria shared by like 3 different countries?
It is. So in 1922, I think, or 1930 something, 1922, I think, the British signed a contract with Egypt that no water is supposed to be used from Lake Victoria and both the Niles until it gets to Egypt. So,
but is Lake Victoria even in Egypt?
No, it's not. It's not. It's in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania.
Yeah. So why? What is Egypt have to do with Lake Victoria?
Well, it is a political issue that if you use water, Egypt claims this is a source of their livelihood, the Nile, and the Nile starts from Lake Victoria.
Okay.
So yeah, Ethiopia is the first one to break away from that. And Egypt has threatened Ethiopia with the military intervention. And
yeah, but you do realize, from my understanding, that the Nile River actually begins in Uganda.
Begins in Lake Victoria, yeah, in Uganda, in the Ugandan side.
Yeah. So who's Egypt to tell you what to do with how do they control the Nile?
Egypt is hanging on to that treaty that they signed before independence.
I swear, man, goodness. I just don't know sometimes, man. Like, it's just a lot going on, that we don't know about. But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, you need to read up on that. Apparently nobody's supposed to use water from Lake Victoria, both the Niles, White Nile and Blue Nile, till the water gets to Egypt.
So what you guys say, fuck Egypt, excuse my language, screw Egypt, and just use the water.
Yeah, well, as a government, Kenya's position has been to remain neutral. So fishing can happen, a little bit of irrigation can happen, but the water cannot supposedly be used on large scale.
And again, this is a treaty between Egypt and Britain
before independence. Yeah.
So that treaty should be void.
It's not void. It's legal even if you take it to the UN.
I just don't get. I just don't get it sometimes, man. I just
Yeah,
don't get
it's Dinas, the world, like I said, the world needs to survive in this world. You need tactics. You don't need. You have to be very tactical.
right. Mm.
But Ethiopia said, "Fuck it." To quote you, Ethiopia said, "Fuck it," and they're building a big ass dam to generate electricity and use it for irrigation.
Good for them. Good for
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
I'm happy. Good for them.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah. Yeah, how in the hell
So
does
Egypt has threatened Ethiopia time and time and time and time again.
yeah, how does a treaty from colonialism, you know, still intact? Like that doesn't make sense. But oh well. Good. So it's whatever. But yeah, man, what we'll do, man, we'll go ahead and close out, man. If you have any anything else, any closing statements, man, go ahead, man. And
Now,
also
let
give
me ask you, how's Trump? How's Trump taking you guys?
I mean, Trump. I mean, I got listen with this tax cut. I got more money in my paycheck. I'll say that.
Okay,
Yeah, I
okay,
mean, not. I mean, people are. I mean, he's not. I mean, he hasn't affected my quality. He hasn't. And really, it's just people are complaining. But Black people cannot point to how he has affected their quality of life in a negative way. He
okay.
has done nothing. Yeah, he has done nothing.
At least he has
So
started no war.
yeah, no wars. He didn't invade Libya. My
Yeah.
son just he didn't invade Libya, you know. So, so you can't blame that on him.
Okay.
So, I
Okay.
mean, nothing. I mean, it's just he runs his mouth and that's about it.
Yeah, yeah, that's
But
about
Black
it.
people, no Black person can sit here and say that Donald Trump has impacted my life in a negative way. No one can.
Because
But we can say that about
the media is super against him. Like what we read here in Kenya is only negative things about Trump. We never get anything, absolutely anything positive about him. Or
okay. No, my son just woke up, so
okay.
yeah. You see him behind there. Say hello to Kevin, man. So you want to get on camera.
Hello, Kevin.
Yeah. So
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
yeah. So all right. Let me get him situated. Kevin, appreciate it. Go ahead and give everybody your contact information so they can reach out to you if they have any questions.
All right. I'm on Facebook as Kevin Pops Kimani. Email kkimani@yahoo.com.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you can hit me up anytime and chat more if you wish.
All right, man. I appreciate it. And everybody, search for Huru. If you're new to this stream, please like and subscribe. Also, go to searchforhuru.com, go to dynastymirror.com, go to amazon.com, search your name, Dynasty Mirror. Also, go to Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram. Search for Huru is my handle. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Kevin, I appreciate it. Guys, I'm coming right back on with the brother I do to talk about some economic stuff here. Let me get him situated and I'll be back on in like 3 minutes. So Kevin, I appreciate it, brother. Thank you for coming on. You always got a home here. Thank you so much. And enjoy the rest of no problem, man. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, brother.
Same to you.
All right, peace.